When the new FA cards were announced, a lot of people asked me, well, how do I plan on actually using these in an FA deck? And one of the reasons that was asked so much is because I thought that Dark Dragster was one of the most important cards of those new releases, where a lot of people were saying it wasn't quite good enough. I disagree, though. I think Dark Dragster is actually really cool, and I'm going to show off a couple combos using it today, as well as go through the Skull Dread combo, because I always mention that in the deck profiles, but I never did a combo video on it, and it's really important to know if you're playing FAs how to pull off the 2-card or 3-card Skull Dread combo for when you want to just totally go off and make a huge board. Anyway, though, I do want to quickly clarify before we do this that I'm using proxies for the new cards, and boy are they bad. The color ink on my printer was out, so I just had to make do with what I had, which is black and white, and they do not look super good. So I'll make sure to put the actual image on the screen so you guys know what we're dealing with here. But this first combo is going to use any level 4 monster, preferably Hang on Mock. Any field spell, that part doesn't really matter. And then, oh man, look at this beautiful image. And if you think this one looks bad, you're going to be really excited when we see the next one, because it's even worse. But this is FA Dark Dragster. It's a new level 7 monster. I'll put it on the screen there. The important part about this card is that you can special summon it from your hand if you control a level 7 or higher FA monster. And then also, once per turn, you can use its level by 3 to pop a card on the field, including your own. The other thing is that you can only control 1 copy of it, and that's not really super relevant. Well, it's not quite you can only control 1 copy of it. It's that you can't activate the special summon effect if there's already one in your monster zone. You can like revive them and stuff, and then you can have more than one. Anyway, though, this is like the standard 3-card combo, and I think it's really cool. I think it's just like the go-to combo. This used to just result in like the motorhome transport guy, and that was cool. But this actually like puts a lot of negations on board. So the first thing you're gonna do, summon the level 4 monster you have, so that's pretty straightforward. Then you're going to activate the field spell that you drew. So as long as it's City Grand Prix or Off-Road Grand Prix, which is probably the only 2 you should be playing, this guy will increase to level 7, so 2 from the field spell itself, 1 for its own effects, so now it's level 7. From there you can special summon the Dark Dragster. So Dark Dragster comes out at level 7, but then is boosted to level 9 by a City Grand Prix. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. We're going to have to resolve some chains. So you're going to use the Dark Dragster's effect, so it goes down by 3 levels. So now you have a level 6 monster, and it's going to pop the field spell. So when the field spell leaves the field, both these guys have to decrease by 2 levels. So this guy was level 7, so now he's level 5. This guy was level 6, so now he's level 4. And then what happens is the field spell in the graveyard activates, so that's going to search out your Auto Navigator. And then because you activated a spell, an FA spell card effect, you can increase level both these by 1. So this one goes up to level 6, this one goes up to level 5. Now you have level 6, level 5. You can use Auto Navigator's effect to special summon it by reducing this guy by 2. So now you have a level 4, level 5, and a level 2 monster. Auto Navigator, when it's summoned, searches another copy. This time you want to definitely grab City Grand Prix, no matter what the original one was, and you'll see why in a second. But so now you have level 2, level 5, level 4, and from there you can synchro. And oh boy, this synchro monster I got looks really cool. But this is supposed to be Dawn Dragster, so you summon the Dawn Dragster. This is like the new guy. It's a negation card. It's really cool, and that comes out at level 7. So now you have level 7, level 4. Then you activate the City Grand Prix. So both these increase by 2 because of the field spell, and then 1 by their own effect. So now you have a level 7 Hang on Mock and a level 10 Dawn Dragster. So there's a couple things that happen here. First off, because you have City Grand Prix, neither of these cards can be targeted by card effects. That's really awesome. But more importantly, all of their bonus effects are now active. So the Dawn Dragster has a 3000 attack. It can't be targeted, and it can negate a spell trap or a spell trap effect. That's really awesome. And the Hang on Mock has a level 7, which means that it is a Dark Claw, and also it can't be targeted, and also it's unaffected by monster effects of level 6 or lower. So that's like your standard 3-card opening. You can pretty much do that with most of the hands, and I think it's really good. This is a lot more secure than just summoning a motorhome, and I think that you'll see kind of why FAs are going to be possibly a really good rogue deck, because if you also had like an FA test run in this hand, well, then you would have just been super sick, because you would have had a negation, you would have had the Dark Claw effect, and you would have had a destruction, and this field is kind of hard to out because most people aren't main decking kaijus anymore. And yeah, so that's the standard 3-card combo. Now let me get this off the mat, and then we can look at the Skull Dread combo, which can either be a 2-card or a 3-card combo. All you need for the Skull Dread combo is one copy of Zodiac Barrage and then either of the field spells. This can also be done anytime that you can put 2 level 7s on the board, which is pretty exciting because there's lots of ways to do that. But we're just going to focus on the 2-card combo version because this is what you really want to focus on, just because it's so much value just out of 2 cards. So what you're going to do here is activate your Barrage and activate your field spell. Barrage is going to pop the field spell to summon a Zodiac level 4 monster from your deck, and then you're going to use the field spell's graveyard effect to add FA Auto Navigator to your hand. Now you haven't normal summoned yet, so we're going to use that normal summon on the Auto Navigator, which is going to search whichever field spell you didn't start with. So in this case, we started with the Off-Road Grand Prix, so we're going to add the FA City Grand Prix, and then from there, we're going to activate the City Grand Prix, which makes Auto Navigator level 3, so now we have a total of level 7 on there, and we're going to Synchro Summon our good old Ancient Fairy Dragon. Now, Ancient Fairy Dragon has 2 effects, both of which we're going to use. The first one we're going to use is that it destroys all the field spells on the field, so that'd be FA City Grand Prix for now, and then it adds a field spell to your hand. So you want to probably grab a second copy of FA City Grand Prix, just because that's pretty much the one that you always want to end on, so we're just going to grab it right here. And then the FA City Grand Prix that you just destroyed activates in the graveyard to add an FA card to your hand. If you don't have a level 4 monster already, because we're just talking about the 2-card combo, you're probably going to grab the Hang On Mock. So now you have this set up. And then Ancient Fairy Dragon has a second effect that lets you special summon a level 4 monster from your hand. So that's how we bring out the Hang On Mock. So that's going to be special summon. And then we're going to activate the third field spell that we've activated this turn, which is FA City Grand Prix, boosting the Hang On Mock to level 7. So now we have 2 level 7s. And like I said, this is kind of where you can play around with the deck. Anytime that you can put 2 level 7s on board, you can technically do this combo, which is pretty cool, I think. I think there's a lot of ways to do that, just with like the standard openings, kind of like, as long as you have like pretty much any 3 FA cards or 4 FA cards, you can do this pretty easily. But this is just like the standard 2-card combo. So you're going to overlay for number 42, Galaxy Tomahawk. Now, Galaxy Tomahawk has a pretty cool effect that actually got boosted by a Link Summoning. So what this card does is you can attach both material to special summon tokens on your entire field, equal or just up to however many spots you have open, which is cool because before this card only summoned 4 tokens, but now it actually summons 5. So we're just going to put some sleeves out here. So we have all 5 tokens. They're kind of running out of space, but you have 5 tokens. So you're going to use almost all these. The first thing you want to do is use a token and the Galaxy Tomahawk to summon Cliffort Genius. Cliffort Genius isn't that important other than it has the down pointing arrows. So then you're going to use 1 token to summon a Link Spider to one of the spots that the Cliffort Genius is pointing to. And then you're going to use 2 tokens to summon a Proxy Dragon. So at this point, you have these 3 Link monsters that are differently named and a token card. So right there, you can now make your Skull Dread and get the bonus effect. So you use the token and the 3 Link monsters to summon the Skull Dread. And Skull Dread is really powerful. It lets you, in this case, it's going to let you draw 4 cards, put 3 that from your hand to the bottom of the deck. And then it also has an effect. It's very similar to Ancient Fairy Dragon, where it lets you special summon an FA monster from your hand. So this card is really good. It's obviously good, but in this deck in particular, it's cool because you can draw into like cards like FA Test Run. You can draw into Hang On Mock if you want to. Now, I do want to give a cautionary tale here. You really don't want to summon the Skull Dread unless you have some form of revival in your hand. Now, you might be thinking, well, why is that important? Well, it's important because with that same hand, you could have made some other boards that have like real synchro monsters like Omega or the new Dawn Dragster. That's what you could have done with those cards. And if you only have those 2 cards and no like Monster Reborn or Soul Charge, all you're ending on is Skull Dread, and that's not really that good. And yeah, you can special summon a Hang On Mock from your hand, but it only come out at level 6, so it's kind of tricky when you want to actually use this effect, or when you want to go for this combo, but you really want to go for it when you have Revival, because if you have Revival at this point, well then you can still make like at least a Dawn Dragster or an Omega, depending on your hand, because then you could revive the Hang On Mock, special summon a guy from your hand, and then you're good there. Or you could special summon the Auto Navigator from your grave, special summon a different guy from your hand, and make a synchro there. So there's a lot of different cases where this card is good, but you really want to watch out for when it's bad, and that really is just when you don't have any other follow-up play, because making Skull Dread is cool, making Skull Dread is really flashy, but there's not a lot of things in your hand that you can actually make use of unless you already have some sort of way to put a synchro monster on board. But anyway, that is going to wrap up my sort of FA combo video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'll try to be thinking of some more as the weeks come closer to where we're actually going to get this card. Although it's pretty far out. I think it's like 3 weeks out or something. It's like end of April where the sneak peek happens, which seems pretty crazy to me. But eventually we'll get these cards and I'll do like real combo tutorials. But I just wanted you guys to think about this one, and then also I want to show off the Skull Dread combo just because I talk about it in like every single deck profile. So it's probably about time that I show it off. And anyway though, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.